So the attitude kind of, what the heck, I'll let him go and then pay it off.
And I can guarantee you that
all clear.
All Vickers has been thinking about since he got turned by Stewart was getting in a position to do this.
Looking for him. Where's that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Vickers got turned around earlier, Ryan Pemberton, his crew chief, was giving him the play-by-play of what happened. Vickers said, I know, I felt it.
Yeah,
One more time.
This is early. Okay, no, this is just now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Vickers comes from the left side of the racetrack, or from on your screen comes from the right side of the racetrack across to run in the back of Tony.
Now, this is what happened earlier in the race. As they were on board with Stewart, that's Vickers up ahead. They're going down to 11. Stewart just leans on him and keeps leaning and keep leaning, and just pushed Vickers into the tires down there.
And you know what, really, and Tony, and we've seen this twice, Tony got on him and would not get off of him. I mean, pushed him. We saw it a little later with Joey Logano. There was no other cars around. It was just a one-on-one, and Joey's like, I'm tired of messing with you. I just pushed you out of the way.
If you would have told me in 2011, right here, at this exact moment, that Tony Stewart would still be the champion, I would have said you're crazy. This was by far Stewart's lowest point in his 2011 season, and it was not great for him. Tony Stewart would crash Brian Vickers early on in Sonoma, and Vickers would later retaliate in basically the same way. But he was carrying way more speed, was able to spin Tony Stewart out, and send him on top of the tire barriers. Luckily, Tony Stewart was not injured in any of this accident, but it is still a wild thing to think. This is the champion. In the middle of the summer months, usually the champion is on fire in NASCAR, but Tony Stewart was still not even in the top 10 in points. Ultimately, this was a turning point in Tony Stewart's season, as he would start to rebound after this. But Brian Vickers and Tony Stewart were still extremely upset with one another.
That's,
oh boy.
I don't know if that's...
Jeff Burton and Kyle Busch. Harsh words. And all in one direction.
Whoa, you don't see Jeff Burton get mad like that very often.
You recall that, here's a look at it. There's Kyle in the middle.
Right here, I think you'll see a little contact, and this is what cuts Burton's tire down. But you gotta also see that the 33 was underneath of Kyle's. I can't really, you know, that's just close racing on a restart.
Here's a look from the helicopter.
Right there is where the tire got cut.
But I'm going to tell you what, Daryl, that's a...
It's really surprising to see Jeff Burton this upset with somebody after the race. Jeff Burton rarely got into any confrontations with anybody in his entire NASCAR career, so it's so shocking to see him this upset after one of the longest races of the season, the Coca-Cola 600. But he was furious at Kyle Busch because of the way Kyle Busch raced around him. He put Jeff Burton in vulnerable positions in the racetrack that almost wrecked him, and Burton was having none of it after the race.
Here comes the dive bomb. He's going to try to slide him.
He's going to try to slide him.
Busher got loose. Busher got in the wall. Watch for the 6 car coming.
Oh, Brad
Busher's
just
in
wished
trouble.
he was
Busher's
close enough.
loose, and he's looking. He's mad.
He's not happy.
I think
something's wrong.
They're both in trouble. Reddick's in trouble. He's got a right rear flat.
10 to go.
Yeah, he's slowing down.
17's pitting. The 6 back to the lead. Oh my gosh! And you're right. He came over here. Big gamble.
What was that? What was that? Hey, I raced clean. I know. I up. I'm sorry. No, hey, Chris. We have raced each other clean. I know. What was that about? As soon as I knew it wasn't going to work, I tried to back out, and I got you. Like, the last thing I want to do is wreck your car. I can care less about mine. I'm sorry. I up. I up. It doesn't work for me. We don't have that sticker on our door right now. Huh? Need to be better. I don't have that sticker on my door. This means more. I need you to be better. We've raced each other just fine for so long. I know. Sorry, dude. Give him room.
Looking for his first victory of the 2024 season was Chris Buescher. He had by far one of the most fastest cars at Darlington that very day, as he made a 3-wide pass on owner Brad Keselowski and Tyler Reddick to take the lead. It was an astonishing move on the front stretch, and passing both of them like that deserved to win this race. Buescher was able to pull away from Keselowski and Reddick, up until Reddick caught him back. And Reddick would make a mistake entering turn number 3 and entering turn number 4 at Darlington as he slid up into Buescher, sending both of them in the wall and cutting both of their tires. Team owner Brad Keselowski would go on to win the race. Buescher would not. Buescher told Reddick, "You have a win sticker. This win means more. You're in the playoffs." Buescher ended up not even making the playoffs because he never won a race in the regular season. And if he would have been able to win here at Darlington, he would have made the playoffs and his season would have been completely different. Picking up his first ever victory at Bristol, Kurt Busch battled Jimmy Spencer, and it was exciting. Busch would move Spencer up the racetrack and pull away to take home the win. Jimmy Spencer was a driver you didn't want to mess with back then, and it showed why. At Indianapolis, he would intentionally wreck Kurt Busch in a horrible, dangerous accident.
All right, survey says, who's he racing with there? We're here, and it's a red car.
Jimmy Spencer?
Yeah. That would be what, the 3rd or 4th time this year that they've tangled?
Remember Bristol?
Back straight away. Ooh, man, that was tight off turn 2. He's got him. I believe he's got him this time. Oh, he turned him.
No.
Oh, he turned him. No.
Now here comes Clint Boyer to take the yellow flag.
Oh, no.
And wild thing, Kyle Busch coming down the backstretch to turn 3.
I think you'll just see him. He just gets in there a little too hard. And, of course, Junior's not cutting him any slack. He's keeping him pinned down, but can't run over the man. That was just unfortunate.
Was that a fair racing move, or does Kyle Busch need some extra security leaving Richmond tonight?
Whether it's fair or not, he's going to need some security from all of us. But I haven't seen the replay. Tony Jr. said he looked like Kyle got loose underneath me, and that happens. I was I wasn't good on the bottom, so I moved up to the top to run as good as I could up there, and he'd been running the bottom, so I figured we'd race it out. And he got a great run around 1 and 2 and nearly got by me, but he gave me room on the outside off of 2, so I wouldn't say that was intentional going into 3, because if he wanted to, he could have just run me in the fence off 2. But
after recently switching rides, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take over for Kyle Busch at Hendrick Motorsports, leaving Kyle Busch the odd man out. Busch had a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove to NASCAR and the entire world that he belonged at Hendrick Motorsports, and he belonged to be one of the top-tier drivers in NASCAR. So him and Junior had quite a rivalry in 2008, and it all went over the edge when Kyle Busch would accidentally wreck Dale Jr. at Richmond, sending him into the wall and crashing out with only 3 laps to go. This would have been Junior's first win for Hendrick if he could have held on. Busch was unable to win, but Dale Jr. remembered what happened the next time they got back to Richmond, and he wanted some payback.
I don't know how good his memory is, but I'm pretty sure he can remember back to May. It's really impressive. He's able to hang this time. They've been working on that car.
They got together.
And Kyle Busch goes around.
Didn't wait 185 laps, Dale.
I guess I was wrong about that.
I think you meant 2 laps.
Twice today, I meant.
I don't. That didn't look intentional to me.
That's all right.
It looked like they were just racing hard. It looked like a payback, but it looked like just hard racing to me.
Well, there's certainly going to be different
inside, one inside. Stay low. Keep digging there. Caution's not out.
All Kyle Busch knows is he got hit and he wrecked his car.
Let's check out our Allstate Good Hands move of the race. You see Kyle Busch going up across. Look at Tony Stewart just getting by.
Kevin Harvick also.
It wouldn't be a rivalry video without Jimmie Johnson and Kurt Busch. These two drivers, even though they came up pretty similarly in NASCAR around the same time, butted heads a lot. Johnson never really had any confrontations with other drivers in the racetrack, but Busch was one of them. Him and Busch just could not get away from each other in the late 2010s and early 2010s, especially at Chicagoland in 2009.
Some contact. You had a top 5 going tonight. Some contact with you and Jimmie Johnson. What happened?
No, I felt like we had a good 8th to 12th place car. That's where our car's been running, and just needed to work on it, get it better. And the 48, we got run into at Sonoma. We got run into again. Starting to lose faith in his ability to be a 3-time champion on the track. I'm disappointed. I gave him room, and we got pounded into the fence, and had a left rear tire rub. Luckily, we got a yellow, got her fixed, and finished 17th. So couple runs that were spoiled by the 48 car, so not digging it.
Well, they were able to get those tires back on and able to finish it tonight. They do finish 17th, Matt. Jimmie Johnson has climbed from the car, and you're going to win one here someday. I just know it. What happened with you in the 2 car?
Heck, I don't even know. I think the 24 got inside of me and got me loose because he was on new tires, and 2 and I touched, and he body slammed me after that. So that was the least of my problems. The bigger problem I had was when I was leading, and the 11 pushed me all the way through 1 and 2, and eventually I lost control of the car, and that's what put me back there. But it was just hard racing. So it was one of those days. I thought we had this thing won at one point, and then that restart didn't work out so well for us. And then everybody was out of control back in their racing, body slamming. 83 and the 11 went at it for a little bit. We were bump drafting down straightaways, and that was some wild racing. I didn't think we could race like that on a 1.5 miles.
One attempt at this green white check, and Stewart has crashed. While everyone lifted for the caution flag, Tony Stewart ended up in the wall.
Tony, right here, you see the 38 and Tony.
Who tipped David Gilliland around?
Somebody must have, was it 26? Ouch. Man, that's a hard hit, and there's no safer barrier there.
To freeze the field and end the race. Stewart very unhappy.
Not sure what that's about. We'll figure it out, though.
Because somebody sure turned him.
Matt, we've caught up with Tony Stewart, and Tony, I know you want to take a look at the replay on our monitor. What was your perspective having not seen it yet?
We just got crashed. We had the 26 just inside of us, and I think the 38 inside of him. So I really want to see the replay before I really say anything, though.
All right. I don't know if we. Here we go. Here's a replay, Tony. Take a look.
Well, wreck's behind us too, but that's part of it that gets us in the wall, and then we get hit a second time, and we'll see who. We've already crashed here,
Yeah, that's the aftermath. That's already after car got up into the side of you.
And then the 38 car just plows us for no reason. So I guess he's still mad for the Busch race yesterday, but no talent there, I guess.
Following the completion of the 2007 Aaron's 499 at Talladega, on the final restart and the crash that ended up ending the race, Tony Stewart would actually get wrecked in front of the crash, and this would send him over the edge. He would get wrecked by Jamie McMurray and David Gilliland, and he was furious. In his post-race interview, he said both of them lacked talent and they had none of it. And honestly, I would feel right for Tony Stewart in this position. He was blatantly taken out in the stupidest way possible by 2 drivers who didn't know where they were on the racetrack.
Here's the first strip into the newly designed chicane.
The 88 Alex Bowman gets turned around.
Gets into the limber quarter panel of the 43 car. Bubba Wallace.
Freezing. Doing good. We don't see any damage. Dump down there on pit road fixing this stuff. Hopefully we won't have to see him for a while. That little in front of me doesn't put his finger away. We're going to get one. Just be smart here and set him up just like you've been doing everybody else. Only flipped me off so many times a lap for not doing anything.
Been battling the 43 for a few laps, and Bowman just cleaned him out.
Just wrecked us. Wow. Fix this race car and we'll handle this today. Yeah, that was a dumbass move on his part. Dustin, you need to go tell Freddie what that was about. The response I got was, don't worry about the effing playoffs, and he was mad because we ran him over through the backstretch chicane on the start of the race. Freddie's got to realize Bubba has enough trouble getting around this place with both hands on the wheel. He doesn't need to be doing it one-handed, you know what I mean?
Got to stand up for myself at some point, right? Probably wouldn't have got wrecked if he had his finger back in the car.
Alex Bowman and Bubba had a conversation after the race.
Oh,
not
only communication, but Bubba throwing water.
In the cut race in 2019 at Charlotte Motor Speedway to eliminate drivers from the playoffs, Alex Bowman, who was a driver who was on that cut line trying to make his way into the next round of the playoffs, was racing hard with Bubba Wallace. They got together early on in the race, and it boiled over throughout the race, up until Alex Bowman would intentionally spin out Wallace on the backstretch. After the race, Bubba Wallace walked over to Alex Bowman to yell at him. As Alex Bowman was suffering from heat exhaustion, Bubba Wallace threw water on him, said some words to him, and then walked off. This was extremely disrespectful by both parts, what Bubba Wallace did off the track and what Alex Bowman did on the track. This was by far one of the most disrespectful moments in NASCAR.
hurt us badly. So.
Strong top 5 finisher this afternoon. And wait a minute, Jimmy Johnson.
I was inside of you. I was inside of you. Please don't pull.
Ran into the back of me.
Dude, I was inside of you. I was inside of you.
You better watch it.
Dude, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
I just did.
Jimmy Johnson wants a little bit more of this conversation. NASCAR officials got
Leading the race in the 2017 Brickyard 400, Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch, two aligned teams, would get together on the restart, crashing each other, and their pit crews were extremely upset with one another, as Kyle Busch's crew chief would go over to Martin Truex's pit crew and yell at him in the pit box.
Where do you time that out? Oh, as you see the 19. Oh, what a save! Oh, no!
What a hard hit to the 19.
Wow.
Caution out, 10 to go.
Wow. You saw the 19 get the 21 loose and then packs that air, which we see all the time in these Xfinity Series cars. There's the slide. Well, yeah, I think we'll all see that a little bit differently. I think NASCAR will probably I think that'll be looked at for sure again, because it looks to me like he gets straight there for a second. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be a little frustrated if I was Eric in that situation.
I think that was potentially not just gathering it.
That was a big hit by Eric, head on into the wall.
I still cannot believe that Austin Hill was this stupid to do this, after Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, and multiple other drivers have right hooked somebody into the wall, got suspended, and Austin Hill still thought it was okay for him to do this. Giving props where it's due, that was a heck of a save, but he lost all points that he got from that save after walling Almirola because he was upset and threw a temper tantrum. This is what Austin Hill does. He doesn't race clean and he doesn't race fair.
Race without having a bunch of pressure.
And Montoya just been contact. Man. Montoya and Tony Stewart together.
Looks like that might just be a move. Now Montoya's got a flat tire.
And there's more to this. We're being told there may have been contact on the turn prior to that between the 42 and the 14. Look at the front of the 42 car. Apparently he ran into the back of the 14. Well, the guy spinning sideways, Tony Stewart, back in 1999 did it, and he spins and comes down across the racetrack and nudges the pit wall.
I think it might be over now.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Montoya was on a mission to settle the score.
In 2009, the final race of the season saw Tony Stewart and Juan Pablo Montoya banging doors down the backstretch, creating some controversy between one another. They would bang doors and it would blow Montoya's tire out. He would go into the wall. This would effectively end Montoya's day, as he would have to make a pit stop, be sent to the back of the pack, and his day was over. But for Tony Stewart, he was able to keep going, up until Juan Pablo Montoya got payback on him later that evening. This was the last race of the season, and I don't think anybody cared, and nobody got any penalties, but this was still a wild moment.
Middle of the corner, now he's trying to take a look.
He's got to run. He looks to the inside as they dive into turn one. Christopher Bell takes the lead away, but here comes the 20. Contact made. The 20 into the wall. So's the 18. Smoke coming out the back. 22-year-old comes back to the finish line. He'll win at Kansas.
And a tough finish here for Eric Jones, who dominated so much of this race. What did you think of the move there that Christopher Bell made on you to take the lead?
Well, I mean, it's not dirt racing. You know, he's not clear. I can't just stop on the top. I mean, he was. I didn't expect him just to drive in on the bottom so far. He wouldn't be able to hold his lane. It's unfortunate. You know, the research camera was really good, and I thought we were going to race for the win, and unfortunately there wasn't much of a race. It was more of a wreck. So
Stephen Wallace has always seemed to run into people when he drove in NASCAR. He was always wrecking people or being wrecked. And this was a wild controversy at Montreal when a crew member pulled his hair after the race. Kind of with Stephen Wallace on this. When you're mad at somebody, pulling hair is kind of childish. Go punch him in the face.
That's the first thing I'm going to ask Steve Wallace about, even though he just posted a career-best fourth-place finish. You saw the same replay I did. What gives?
I don't know. My 5-hour Toyota was really fast today. We had a couple challenging moments where me and Carpentier were racing really hard, and I got underneath him. I tried to outbrake him. He crowded me. I got loose, and I spun him out. Obviously, Baxter was upset. I'd be upset too. Yeah, but only girls pull hair, so I don't really know if it's you know what to say about that. But
This is how it typically gets every week. Every week. I hate my job. What the does he want? When you ran out of the pit, you almost ran some of them over. They're all wanting to whoop you. You got to start at the back for pitting too soon. It's a one to go yet. They want you to drop part of the back. I am there! I'm there! Holy behind me! I'm down! All right, man, cool down. Let's then get some points here.
Kurt Busch was furious after this one, and this was just probably the worst time in his entire NASCAR career. A past Cup Series champion was basically demoted after things that happened on and off the track, and this was just sad to see. Kurt Busch was falling down a path that you don't want to see any athlete go down. But he was able to rebuild himself and go to Stewart-Haas Racing and win a lot of races and a Daytona 500. But this was a low moment in Kurt Busch's career.
And Kenseth cleared by Logano. Maybe no! Kenseth takes him out! Logano into the wall! Caution comes out and the crowd roars! Helmets coming off. This is what just took place.
Clearly, the 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him. And like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been, and just flat wrecked him.
Matt Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have.
This has to be the greatest payback in NASCAR history, period. There will never be another payback that was as cool as this one. At the time, nobody really liked Joey Logano at all. He was winning a lot of races and he was becoming very cocky. And Matt Kenseth and even a lot of the older guard drivers like Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. didn't like it. Matt Kenseth definitely took it to him. He basically eliminated Joey Logano's championship hopes with this very move.
So loving. Thank you. Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 double mint Camry. Rick ready to win it again.
Brad Keselowski, driver of the Penske Racing Dodge. Kyle Busch is an ass.
That his teammate Hut Strickland crashed.
Yeah, I think you're gonna. If you would have heard the end of that,
yeah, it wouldn't be good.
We can get this thing fixed. We're coming back out after him. You know, one of the hardest places I've ever hit in Martinsville. Lost my brace going into 3. All those half-mile racetrack, you crash hard.
He didn't even take the helmet off to get out of the car.
No, he's mad.
Yep.
And he's looking for who did it.
Here, I'll talk to the 22 guy up here.
That was Ty Norris, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car.
I tried to get out of it. He kind of, was abrupt on his entrance. Didn't give me much time. I mean, if he's going to cut me off, tell him not to, give me a little bit of time to get out of the gas, or he's going to get spun out. All right, I'll talk to him.
That ain't going to do any good, Ty.
No. The emotions are running very, very high right now.
I'd talk to him maybe next Friday.
Yeah, at Darlington. And now the call goes out on the NASCAR radio for the driver and crew chief of the 22 to go to the big red truck when the race is over.
That big red truck is going to be busy, I think.
Oh, it's going to be.
All right, let's see if we can see what happened and why Ward is so upset. On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Come off turn 2, start down the backstretch. Jr. gets a run. He thinks he has enough, but just barely makes contact with Ward. And bam, in the wall. And that's why. But there was contact, and here we go.
Well, he's got a better throw than Alan Bestwick.
I've seriously contemplated on making a full video just from this one race. There was so many altercations on the racetrack between drivers throwing things, drivers wrecking other drivers. It was just calamity at the Bristol night race. And Ward Burton had enough of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and he got out of his car and threw his booties at Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s window net. This has to be the most comical way to get mad at somebody and try to show them how upset you are and your displeasure. Ward Burton was kind of successful, I guess, at it, but unfortunately for him, his day was over as Jr. would still be able to continue driving.